Why, hello there. I go take care of some personal stuff for 2 days. 2 days. 2 days. And I wasn't planning on making this video today, but my friend isn't going camping, so I got some time to kill. Plus, I'm making dinner before I head out camping. But I'm going to make this video here because, as a gun owner, as a responsible gun owner, I am embarrassed by this. That's right. Rest in peace, Halyna Hutchins, who was killed by the POS Alec Baldwin. Yes, he is a POS. He's always been a POS, but I can't express the feelings I'm trying to put into words. And yes, I rehearsed this on my way home from work. Other than the fact that this is embarrassing and should never have happened. Holly Weird got one death, which was Brandon Lee, to be killed in this manner. That was their only fatal shot that could be ruled an accident. Anything else is just manslaughter or second-degree manslaughter. Now, do I think Alec Baldwin is a murderer? No, but he is a killer and he should be held responsible. There's people on Twitter and there's some people that have been debating in a Discord server that says he's not responsible because you have a gun prop or gun master or armor or prop master to make sure this doesn't happen. But it did happen. And Alec Baldwin is responsible for pulling the trigger. He broke rule number 1 of all firearm training, is to treat every gun like they're loaded and to check to make sure that there's no rounds in the chamber. He failed this, and a lovely lady of 42 years old is now dead because of this mistake. And this is a deadly mistake. As I was researching, because I didn't know the name of the person off the top of my head, from The Atlantic, gun, even props, are not toys. Following gun safety rules is always imperative, even on a movie set. That's right, even on a movie set, especially a movie set. Because sometimes you cut corners and you want that realistic look, especially if you have a revolver. You want to get the round in the movie clip or in the movie scene. And the only way to do that is to either make dummy rounds, which are made of plastic or rubber, and paint them to make them look real. Or you take a live ammunition, you pull off the slug, you dump the gunpowder. If you're smart, you would actually trigger the either remove or trigger the primer and put the slug back in. That way, if you were to pull the trigger, it would just it would just be a dud. It would be a dummy round. But they didn't even do that. They actually had, from my understanding, a live round within the gun. I don't know how that is possible in a post Brandon Lee scenario on set. I'm a pro-gun activist. I'm a Second Amendment advocate, especially here on YouTube. And I'm even embarrassed and ashamed of what happened in New Mexico with Alec Baldwin and what happened to this lovely lady and the person that was injured that was behind her. This should have never have happened. I'm not even going to read the story because I think you get my feelings on this. I'm pretty sure everyone at least understood the story or understand the story. I do not agree with people that saying that Alec Baldwin is not responsible, because he is 100% responsible. He picked up a gun, didn't check to make sure there was no rounds in it, and he just willy-nilly pulled the trigger, and a woman is dead. I am all for responsibility. I'm all for movies portraying guns, either in a positive or negative route, as long as they do basic gun training or basic gun safety steps to prevent this from happening. I am livid. I am upset. And there's no amount of words I can say that express how much anger I feel, because this is anger I'm feeling, because this goes against every responsible gun ownership. This is not responsible gun ownership, and Hollywood needs to be held responsible. Alec Baldwin needs to be charged, at least with second degree manslaughter or involuntary manslaughter, because he pulled a trigger of a loaded weapon. I don't care if he knew it was loaded or not loaded, because when that you take ownership of a gun, when I mean ownership, as in you put the gun in your hand, you are 100% responsible. Even if it's a prop or supposed to be unloaded, you check to make sure that the round is not a live round, or you make sure the round is not there. I can't stress this enough. This is basic gun safety training right here. You make sure the gun isn't loaded, and you treat every weapon, whether it's a gun out of your safe, a prop gun, as a real loaded gun that will cause harm. And I cannot believe there's people out there defending Alec Baldwin, saying that he doesn't bear any responsibility because the checks and balances failed him. But you know what? He failed. He wants to be an anti-gun person. Well, guess what? He now has a death on his hand because he did not treat the gun with respect. And that's all people like me want. The people that are pro-gun, people that are pro-Second Amendment, want responsible gun ownership. And this is not the sign of responsible gun ownership. And I hope he does get charged, but I know he won't, because he's a Hollywood elite. He's an anti-Trumper. They're going to rule this as an accidental death that should never have happened. And he's probably going to get sued, and the production's probably going to get sued. But nothing criminally is going to happen, which is a shame. Because it's the double standards. It's the rules for thee, but not for me scenario. And that's also frustrating. Anyways, I could just say the same thing over and over, just different ways. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts are. Should Alec Baldwin be charged with second degree manslaughter or involuntary manslaughter? Should he receive any charges from the New Mexico law enforcement or the prosecutor in this case? Should he receive a trial by his peers? If you agree with me, leave a comment down below. If you disagree, if you think that he shouldn't bear any responsibility because he's just an actor on a set that was supposed to receive a prop gun and he accidentally killed someone, should he be absolved of all responsibility because all the checks and balances failed before getting to him? I mean, I understand that there's checks and balances before you go get something like this, and those failed. And by all means, those people should be held responsible to the same degree. But he picked up the gun and pulled the trigger and killed someone. The prop master didn't pull the trigger. The armorer didn't pull the trigger. Alex Baldwin pulled the trigger, and he is 100% responsible for when he pulled the trigger. Actor or actresses be damned. These actions have consequences. And unfortunately, Halyna Hutchins is not alive to defend Alec Baldwin because she's dead. Anyways, leave a comment down below if you agree with me or not. Smash the like and subscribe button on all and any platforms, or just the platform that you're watching this on. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful, safe weekend. And if you're going to mess with firearms, or if you're going to go target practicing, practice basic gun safety. Make sure you only point at what you intend to shoot, and make sure what you're intending to shoot is not a camera crew member. Anyways, that's all.